Good morning and welcome to the Delco Show. This is Tori Fiore, Executive Director of Delaware County's Brandywine Conference and Visitors Bureau, soon to be known as Destination Delco. And you are listening to the Delco Show on iRadio Philly, a wonderful internet radio station, one of 23 internet radio stations on iRadio Philly, and it's brought to you by the Delaware County Chamber of Commerce. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't forget, we have to remember to always thank that wonderful lunch sponsor of ours, Primo Hoagies on Baltimore Pike in Media. Every week it's another surprise for us. I haven't looked yet, but maybe as we go to a break here 15 minutes from now, I'll take a peek and see what Stephen Kessler as the second and I have for lunch today. And as a wonderful other side note, the Delco Show website is now up and running. DelcoShow.com. Stephen E. Kessler, do we have video on that too? Video is on that? He just puts his thumb up. He's very cranky today. He feels caca. The weather's making him caca. His back is making him caca. Ladies, we know what caca is, right? Okay. And speaking of wonderful ladies, folks, two wonderful ladies who are very involved with the Italian Festival, the Italian American Heritage Festival, which is held in Rose Tree Park. I'd like to welcome to the Delco Show Rose Vaccone and Anita Kane, formerly known as, I hope I get this right, Anita Garlamo.
Very good.
Okay, that was a good okay, I don't know why you ever changed it to Kane. Garlamo was much easier to say and spell than Kane. I got to be honest with you. Anyway, ladies, Rose, Anita, welcome to the Delco Show.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Well, I figure, we've done a lot of these Stephen E. Kesslers the second. Now I got two other Italians in the room. Boy, are we going to have a good time today.
I mean, outnumbered.
The only thing we're missing from this, they didn't bring any Dago red wine. So, but that's all right. We'll try to get through it. Rose, Anita, coming up is the 6th annual Italian American Heritage Festival, and it's being held on June 7th at Rose Tree Park. Let me start off, and again, either one of you's answer, point at each other. I don't really care. I'll figure it out, as we go along.
Well, we're Italian, so we have a tendency to interrupt each other anyway.
Exactly. And the way we move our hands, you just smack them by accident and they get the picture, right? Okay. 6th annual. How did this get started? And it turned into, it started out as a small event, but it turned into a big event every year. Rose, I'm going to start with you because I worked with you the most on this, and then Anita, you'll have your turn. But how did this get started, Rose?
Well, 3 individuals decided to have some kind of a festival with a tribute to Al Alberts because he had just passed away. So in 2010, 8 weeks before we had our first festival, we got together and we just put things together. I don't know how we did it. It was crazy, but we did get some local food vendors who paid nominal fees to come out, and we thought we were going to have between 500 or 700 attendees. To our surprise, we had about 1,300 that first year. And from then on, it just boomed and escalated.
So not all of them were Italians, right? There were some Metagons that showed up?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Stephen E. Kessler said Metagons means Americans or non-Italian, okay? Just let you know. Okay. So you've been involved since the beginning.
Yes.
Anita, how about you?
I have been involved as a volunteer since the beginning.
Okay.
But just within the last 3 years have been, since I retired. And Rose is kind of persuasive that way.
To say what she is.
She is.
Yes.
I would say Rose gets what Rose wants most of the time.
Yes.
But anyway, she has persuaded me to come on board and help out with the marketing and sponsorship. And now I'm overseeing the performance schedule and that sort of thing as well.
Yeah. In fact, Rose reminds me of that E.F. Hutton commercial, and I paraphrase it. When Rose speaks, people listen. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, ladies, I feel remiss all of a sudden. Folks, just to let you know, Rose is the producer and Anita the co-producer of the Italian American Heritage Festival. So, 6 years ago, you started it. To much to your surprise, you had 1,300 people come out, and from there on out, bada boom, bada bing, it just took off.
It just escalated. Yeah. The Association Regionale Abruzzi Delco was there, and not full force. They were there partly, but they came afterwards, talked to us, and said that they wanted to help us.
So you didn't reach out to them prior to you three just crazy people just went ahead and did this, and then picked up volunteers, and the Nick Rapillons of the world just happened to come out that day and said they wanted to be involved.
Yeah.
Wow. Now that's, I mean, I would have thought it was the other way that this happened, but that's fascinating that they wanted to be involved. And again, it's a wonderful organization. That organization that now, I guess, is sponsoring this, would you say, Rose?
Yes.
Is the Coalition of Italian American Organizations. And that's a group, folks, that's got the Associazione Regionale Abruzzi Delco, the ARA Delaware Valley, Vitalia Delaware County, Sons of Italy District 5, Justinian Society of Delaware County, St. Anthony of Padua Society, and the Christopher Columbus Memorial Association. And they're, believe it or not, it just happens to work that way with the name of the organization, the Coalition of Italian American Organizations. That it's the website is ciaodelco.org, CIAO. How did that happen? Delco.org. Their phone number, Rose's phone number, actually, to reach her for this festival is 610-203-3969. Anyway, Rose, I keep interrupting you and Anita here. So it went from there. They got involved. Then what happened?
Each year, it's grown. It's gotten bigger and bigger, and we've had more organizations, more Italian American organizations in the area that wanted to join us. So we have over 11,000 people coming to the festival now.
Yeah, I know.
And it's unbelievable.
Well, we at the Brandywine Conference and Visitors Bureau got involved the last couple of years.
Yes, you did.
And again, just as, logistics and how can we help and, behind the scenes fix things, you guys do all the work, get all the volunteers. Now, now I've been to a few meetings of the organization. How did Widener get involved in? Because we go to the meetings at Widener a lot. How did Widener get involved in this?
Well, Widener actually was associated to the Associazione Regionale Abruzzi Club to begin with. That club has donated a lot to help the Widener cultural department, and that's how they got involved.
Okay, now, just out of curiosity, and Anita, you just told me that you started to get, that Rose persuaded you after you retired. What were you do? What did you do?
I actually did economic education. I ran a Center for Economic Education at Temple University.
Okay.
And I worked with all the local schools and mostly did staff development programs for teachers, encouraging them to incorporate financial literacy kinds of programs. The stock market game was probably our signature program, but of course we had programs on entrepreneurship and basic money management, basic economic concepts.
Wow.
And,
how long were you there?
22 years.
Holy jeez, God bless you.
Right.
Really? Well, again, I'm hoping you weren't involved in the Italian financial situation, were you?
Well, I can get a little frustrated with the Ciaodelco gentlemen sometimes. Their approach to spending decisions. Let's put it that way.
They do have a free hand, do they not?
Yes, they have a very tight cut. But one of the things also I'd like to mention about the festival that I think one of the reasons that it just grows is, it's free. And now, while people pay for the food and that kind of thing.
Yeah, let people know that.
Yes,
the food
they do
is not
pay.
free.
The food is not free. But it's the largest free event, I think, in Delaware County now.
Yeah.
And because the point is not really to raise money, the point is to promote Italian culture and Italian American heritage and culture.
And have fun.
And have fun, right.
And a good time we have. And there were like over 60 vendors last year, ladies?
Yes, 65 local businesses involved one way or the other, yes.
Wow. Now, did you two know each other before this?
No.
All right, and then Rose, what did you do before you got involved in this? Or what do you still do, or whatever? I don't know.
I was helping to run a large spam and email filtering company by the name of Excel Micro.
Okay.
My son actually is the owner, and I was the vice president and treasurer of the business.
Okay.
And he actually just sold it in September.
Okay.
And we were down in Essington.
So now, were you two originally from Delaware County?
I wasn't. I was from Philadelphia, South Philadelphia.
Oh, you don't get nasty about it, Rose.
Not yet.
Okay, you're being offensive. Okay, I'm going to, Anita, you seem like a nice person. Okay.
I grew up in Marion, so no. But I live right around the corner now. I love media. Love media.
So you're right. You live around the corner from me.
I do. Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And where are you living now, Rose?
Wallingford.
And you're 2 minutes from me.
2 minutes. I've been here for 35 years.
Okay, so you're both basically your Delco girls.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, that's fine.
Sure, we'll admit to that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm originally from South Philly.
Oh, there you go.
You know.
You too?
No.
Okay.
Stephen's from Jabipper East Overshoes. I don't know where the man grows alpacas. Okay, he's got a farm somewhere in East Overshoes. He grows alpacas and pigs. I mean, what do I know? You know, like he was going up like this because he's giving me a time cue.
Okay.
Okay, we have to talk. No, you see, I'm going on vacation, and people say to me, "Where are you going?" And I say, "I'm going out of the country." They go, "Out of the country? Where?" And I go, "Florida." And they go, "Florida? That's not out of the country." I said, "Let me explain it to you. If it's not South Philly or Delaware County, it's out of the country. Okay?"
Exactly.
It's very simple. So anyway, that's very different things that you ladies did before getting involved in this. I mean, you got into this basically blind. You didn't know what the hell you were getting into, did you?
No.
Well, Rose certainly didn't. I think I had a better idea, having been part of the,
having
seeing it grow
volunteered and
over the
everything,
years
yes.
and being a volunteer.
Yes,
right?
yes. The beginning of it can skip, but now you
I've
got
only
it.
worked for profit organizations.
And people weren't giving away money left and right, right?
Correct.
But you've seen it grow.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You've got the basics. I mean,
We
you
have the
got the
basics.
template for it. It's still work. Okay, it's a long day Saturday or Sunday. It's Sunday. I'm sorry. Yeah, just to remind you, folks, the Italian Heritage Festival, the 6th annual is June 7th, which is a Sunday at Rose Tree Park. And I'm not talking just a small part of Rose Tree Park. I'm talking all over the park.
All over the
I mean, there's more Italian flags up there than Carter's got little liver pills. I'm telling you. And all of those, and all of the vendors, I mean, the food, the aroma of it, and the taste is just outstanding, outlandish. It's amazing. I mean, if you don't gain weight that day, there is something wrong with you. And the entertainment, which we'll get to in the next segment, is absolutely fascinating. Bigger and better this year?
bigger and better every year. Mm-hmm.
You want to tell them what you're adding this year?
Give me a reading. We got about a minute and a half. What are you adding, Rose? Or is it a surprise? Look, Rose, if it's a surprise, no. Just tell me. I won't tell a soul. You can tell me. I won't tell anybody.
We're adding a gravy contest.
Oh.
You want to enter?
Gravy
well,
master.
I'm glad that you said gravy and not sauce.
Oh.
Okay?
What is sauce?
Don't get me started. That's great.
In addition to that, the Delco Chamber is going to have or start the world's largest pasta contest. We're going to try to make a necklace. We're going to try to make a necklace over a mile long.
That's a lot of pasta.
Hopefully,
And that will get us in the Guinness Book of
World Records.
This is
Well, when we come back from break, we'll talk about that some more. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm speaking with Rose Vaccone and Anita Girolamo, not Kane, of the Coalition of Italian American Organizations, the 6th annual Italian American Heritage Festival on June 7th at Rose Tree Park.
11 o'clock.
At
a.m.
11
Rain or
o'clock,
shine.
rain or shine. We will be right back after this brief intermission. You are listening to The Delco Show on iRadio Philly. Welcome back to The Delco Show. This is Tori Fiore. You are listening to The Delco Show on iRadio Philly. And The Delco Show is brought to you by the Delaware County Chamber of Commerce. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, for our second week now, or third week, and you lose track after a while. Second week, thank you, Stephen E. Kessner, a second. We are at the beautiful Headroom in beautiful downtown Media, right here on State Street and Veterans Square intersection, watching the trolley go right by down the middle of State Street, which is screwing up Stephen E. Kessner's sound system, but that's okay. He'll live with it. He's a smart guy. He'll fix it. I have great confidence in Stephen E. Kessner II. The Headroom is a facility that you can book for an hour, a day, a week, a month, long term, short term, for business. If you need office space to have a meeting or do an interview or have a little conference, or just to get the hell out of the house if you're a sole proprietor and working out of your home and the wife or dog are bugging the hell out of you.
Or the husband.
You get out of, or the husband. I'm sorry. It's the
Talking to
sexism
two
coming out
women
in
here.
me.
Don't
I
forget, Tori.
know. Bitchy. But I love you for it. I feel like I'm talking to my two sisters, but I only have one sister. You see how scary that? Although my mother thinks my sister was a twin and they took the other one away from her when she was born. Really, 98 years old and she still believes that. Okay, you can't make this stuff up. True story. Anyway, we are speaking with, listening to, doing what we're told from by Rose Vaccone and Anita Kane. I'll give you both names, okay, Anita? Who are with the Italian American Heritage Festival through the Coalition of Italian American Organizations of Delaware County. You can check out the event, which is scheduled for June 7th from 11 a.m. till dusk, or when the last person wakes up from lunch and sneaking in the wine, and we send that person home. You can check out what's happening with the festival. The restaurants and everything that are on there are coming out. You can check it out by going to ciaodelco.com, CIAO delco.org. Thank you, Rose. 610-203-3969, or check them out on Facebook, which is Chow Delco. Okay, having said all that, and we know, just as a reminder, the delcoshow.com is now online, a website about the Delco Show, featuring iRadio Philly, of course. And it's got some video on there, all sorts of fun stuff, so you can check that out. So let me get back to this, ladies. Every year, we know it gets better and better, and every year there's something different going on. We just heard about the pasta. We just heard about the gravy contest or gravy awards or whatever the heck you want to call them. That sounds like a heck of a lot of fun. And again, when it comes to gravy, Rose, you said, do I want to get involved? I would have my mother, God bless her, as I said, 98 years old still, she would make her gravy. Okay?
She probably still does that.
Oh, she
weekly,
still does
right?
that. And if you want meatballs, I've learned from my mother, so I make great meatballs, but she makes great meatballs. With the beef, pork, and veal.
Oh, yes.
That's the way you start.
That's the only way.
It's the
the only
way you
way.
start. And then after that, you have your own little technique to do it with. But,
Over the years, right?
yeah, so good. I mean, with the grandchildren, they'll, she'll go visit and everything, and she'll bring a big pot of meatballs down. And even before they sit down for dinner, the meatballs are going. They eat them.
Yes.
They eat them.
Yeah.
And it's the boys,
You eat
not
them
the girls.
fried.
It's the
You eat
boys.
them fried.
So it doesn't take long. Oh, yeah, and just the fried meatballs.
Fried meatballs.
And the fried meatballs, as they're being cooked and everything, they come out and you make a little sandwich, or you kind of just put it
Sunday
in the
morning,
plate.
eat a fried meatball.
Yeah, or,
and,
let me try to see if it's ready.
the bread and the gravy.
Oh, yeah, let me see if it's ready. And you're checking it out. Anyway, all things Italian, right, ladies? All things Italian. Now, entertainment this year. You're in charge of the entertainment, Anita. What do we got? Because last year, I mean, gosh, it goes on and on and on and on and on. It doesn't stop. Who do we have?
Well, we actually decided to sort of, I don't want to say cut back, but reduce the number of acts that we had because we just didn't feel we were giving enough time to each of the performers.
Sure.
Plus, we've also had a waiting list of people who've been getting in touch with us over the years saying, boy, we'd love to perform, we'd love to perform. And we had, acts who have been just fabulous over the years.
And you, plus, and you ladies do have a problem of saying no.
Well, we do. Yes,
exactly.
We do. So this year we decided that, we would bring in a number of these people who have been asking over the years. But in the past, some of our headliners have been Charlie Gracie, had Alfio. Last year, Marina Frizzetti, who just did a fabulous job.
Yep.
So this year we have really, as I guess our headliners, a group called Tribella, who are three, I was going to call them young ladies, but they actually describe themselves as girls. So, and they do a wonderful 3-part harmony, a lot of pop music. Do the Italian gentlemen know how much pop music they do? Rose.
Don't tell, you didn't tell them, did you, Rose?
Because this is an ongoing. They want Italian.
Yeah, I know.
To sing Italian. We keep saying yes, but we have a lot of Metagons who come to the festival.
Yes,
they want to hear. They want to hear music they know. So, so we're excited about bringing them in. And Rosie, who is one of the 3 young ladies, grew up in Delaware County. Her family is still here. And so they're all excited about her coming back and performing at the festival.
Not this Rose.
Not this Rose. No, this is Rosie from Tribella, yes. So.
Okay, that's right. That Rosie's a girl.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Okay. I tell you, listen, I was on a cruise one time. I'm going back when Brooklyn was a prairie many, many, many moons ago. And the main act was Franco's Italian Quartet, the Four Vagabondai.
Yeah, there you go.
I still have their album.
But do you have something to play the album on?
No.
No.
But I still remember the song, the one, Bacciami.
Yeah.
Bacciami. I just, it was a blast. It was an absolute hoot.
You want to perform?
No.
With us?
I would do comedy.
Okay.
Okay, but I wouldn't do it in Italian.
Okay.
Or my comedy I could do in Italian because I only know curse words.
Right.
Why is it that this generation, if they don't speak it fluently, they at least know the curse words?
They get them from their grandmother.
Right.
Right, ladies. I'm looking at you two.
Don't look at me. I grew up not with the Italian language being spoken a lot, but I did know the curse words.
There you go. Okay. See how that works?
It does work.
My parents both spoke fluent Italian, but from 2 different regions. My father was Calabrese. My mother was Brussels.
Oh.
Now they understood each other, but it was 2 different types of Italian.
Mm-hmm.
It was fascinating to listen to, that every region has its own little dialect. I mean, I'd love to, all those guys over there from the organization, the Abruzzi organization, you wonder how they actually, because they're from all over Italy, you wonder how the hell they understand each other.
Mm-hmm.
But they do.
They do.
They do. Oh, speaking of which, you guys, I forgot about this. One of the big things there at the festival is bocce.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And,
yes. Come out.
and,
Play.
Well,
register for a team.
Here's what we're doing. I
courts.
spoke with Nick Rapignani.
Okay.
Because you guys are doing it on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. Well, we have our opening ceremonies on Monday, the next day, for the senior games, which are the games for anybody 50 and over in Delaware County. There's a dozen different events, athletic events that they can perform. And we're doing bocce this year as a exhibition sport to see how it goes over, because a lot of people were requesting it. So Nick said he would keep
Leave the
bocce courts up and have his volunteers come back to work it that day, because, there's a few of them there, and I forget the one guy. Was it Charlie? I can't remember. Or Anthony, that want permanent bocce courts at Rose Tree Park.
Yes. Right. Uh-huh. Yes.
So I said, let's do this first, see how this goes over, and county council will be there for the opening ceremonies. Maybe we look at that and we can figure out, and then finally, somewhere in the park, get bocce courts.
That would be great. I mean, it is growing in popularity. There's no question about it. I mean, and now I was telling Rose, I Googled bocce right before I came over, thinking, well, let me see if I can get a little bit of history. Well, first thing that pops up, plastic bocce sets for your kids. at Walmart,
Yeah.
at Target. I mean, that didn't used to be. So,
No.
It is
Yeah,
growing in popularity.
it's
no
like
question.
it's like the plastic or rubber horseshoes.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, about a month ago, there was 2 or 3 pages in the Philadelphia Inquirer on bocce and how it's growing throughout the Philadelphia region, and its families are playing. It's almost a date night. Guys and girls are playing it. It's young and old playing it. So it's not, it's not the old Italian guys with the pork pie hat and the stogies anymore.
Right.
It's all sorts of people, Italian, non-Italian. There's all sorts of bocce leagues.
And the company that I work for, XL Micro, we had bocce teams and they played against one another. And we gave them trophies for the winners. And they were all young guys, 30 years old, 35.
Yeah.
So that's something they can do
Yeah.
at the festival, though. We have an open court, and there are people available who will give basic lessons. Now, we do ask if it's, kids under 12 that the parents stay and supervise.
Sure.
But you can come there and you can learn about the sport and just get some basic lessons, just to even see if you're interested in pursuing it. And as Rose said, companies can sponsor a little competition. So we make sure that there's an open court, at least one, for them to be able to use it for that purpose.
You see how we're talking? We've gotten so off track about the entertainment and everything. It's like sitting in the living room on the plastic seat covers, having a conversation and forgetting what the hell we were talking about. And then we get back to it eventually. You guys aren't just got-get-owns. You're got-get-owns and a half, all right? The rest of it was Trabella.
Trabella, right.
Trabella, and then what else after that?
And
Anita?
then
I'm sorry.
Opening the festival and processing around the park is that, and I had a conversation with Jack Colombo about this, the American pronunciation would be the Neglia Band, but of course the Italian pronunciation would be the Neglia Band, I guess.
Sure.
So they're going to, it's still open to discussion whether they're going to process up from St. Mary Magdalene there. We keep saying we don't know how they're going to do that. But once they get to the park, they process around, and they usually bring the statue of St. Anthony. People get a chance to put the money in St. Anthony, do all that kind of stuff.
Get a hold of me, remind me, because we can talk to the chief of Upper Providence Police, nice Italian kid.
Okay.
Wow.
And talk to him about it. And maybe we can close
maybe he could
traffic
help
for that short period of
doing
time.
that,
that'd be great.
Because
To
it's
get
the
them
opening
into
of the festival,
to
so
get them into
it
the
would be
park.
early on.
We've done it before with the walk for the wounded and everything like that, with the motorcycles and everything.
Oh, great! They'd be thrilled
Get
with
a
that.
hold of me,
Okay.
and we'll talk to Dave.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right?
Terrific. Okay.
So go ahead. Hey, who else?
Okay, and the coro, of course, comes. I'll let Rose say the real name of the chorus, since my Italian pronunciation. Do you want to say? No. Okay, she doesn't want to either.
Give it a shot, Anita.
No, I'm not even going to try it. But the coro, that's what I call them.
Let me see what this says. Give it.
It's
me.
it's in the guide.
All right, wait a
I'll
minute.
give it to you.
Where? The same group here? Is it in here?
Yeah, because they perform every year. I was going to say they come in, they sing.
All right, I gotta
they
make
sing
this
both the
fast.
Italian
Where is
and
it?
the American
That's food.
and the American.
Where?
There.
Oh, okay. Cara Gabriella D'Annunzio.
There you go.
Gabriella.
Easy for you to say.
Well, I grew up with a kid named D'Annunzio.
There you go. And you grew up with two different Italian
Come on,
dialects
hey.
as well. So I said all I know are the curse words.
We got about a minute and a half left.
Okay.
Go ahead. What else?
And then Fulvio Rani and his partner Sal will be performing as well, and the Babachi dancers are coming back again this year. So we're excited about that. So
And that's pared down entertainment.
That's fair now. And we also have radio broadcast through Wilmington 1450, WILM 1450 out of Delaware. They'll be there
Now,
broadcasting as
Doesn't
well.
the Italian radio station also? Aren't they also there?
They've been with us in the past few years.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But this year it'll be.
Well, as usual, it sounds like a great event. I mean, I'm looking forward to working with you guys again. I always love being there. I feel like I'm back downtown in South Philly with my mother's, 13 sisters and brothers.
Well, Rose has 4 in her family.
Yeah, in my grandmom Belle's house, with everything going on, and it's never a dull moment, and there's no place to hide because it's noisy all day. So anyway, we got 30 seconds.
That's 30 seconds. Kids Field of Fun, bounce houses, face paintings, bubbles, and this year in partnership with the Delaware County Chamber of Commerce, come out and help build the world's longest pasta necklace.
And you two thought there was nothing to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to the Delco Show on iRadio Philly. I'm Tori Fiore. It's Rose, Anita. Delco Show brought to you by the Chamber of Commerce. See you next week.